Hello everyone, welcome back to Abena'sKitchen. In this video I'll show you how to make beef sauce, authentic Ghana beef sauce. So for marinating your beef you need 1 onion, some aniseed in kete, half seasoning cube, a piece of dried chili, some ginger garlic paste. I've got dark soy sauce and light soy sauce, and of course your beef, your stir-fry beef. Don't just get any beef for your stir-fry. You need a tender cut. So whenever you go to your butchers, just tell them that you need some beef strips for stir-fry and they know what to give you. So I'm gonna blend all my ingredients and then come back to you. It is best to marinate this overnight, but I'm gonna do it for some few hours. Because I'm marinating, I'm not adding any salt, and besides all the soy sauces, they are highly salted, so there's no need to add any extra salt. So I added 1 teaspoon of the dark soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of the light one. So now I've added my blended stuff. I'm going to cover this and then marinate in the fridge for some hours. I marinated it for 3 hours. Let's get to the other ingredients for the sauce. So I've got 3 green bell peppers. They are very big ones. And then I've got onions, 1 large yellow onion, and then half of a red onion to give it a little bit of color. And then I've got sesame oil. I'll add just a few drops of sesame oil, and then rice wine. So these 2 ingredients will give it that extra kick, that extra flavor. So whenever you are preparing oriental dishes like Chinese dishes, try and get these 2 ingredients, rice wine and then sesame oil. This is how I love to cut my vegetables. Instead of cutting them into julienne shapes, I love them in cubes. I just chop them into cubes like that. I forgot to mention that you can add other vegetables to it, like carrots, broccoli, etc. I separate them like that so I wouldn't get chunks of onions in the sauce. I cut my bell peppers same shape as the onions. Now let's begin with the sauce itself. I'm going to preheat 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in my saucepan. Do not use too much oil because it tends to settle on top of the sauce. I'm adding few drops of my sesame oil. You don't need too much of that as well because it has a very strong smell. I'll fry my beef for about 2 minutes and then I'll add the liquid I marinated the beef in. I'll add that liquid to it. So this is the sauce I was talking about, the one I marinated the beef in. So I'll pour everything in and then add some water. So it depends on how you want the beef sauce to be. If you want it very juicy, add more water. If you want it a bit dry, just leave it like that, don't add water. So I'll cover it and cook it for about 5 minutes. I added some stock cube to it. So in all, I used just 1 stock cube. The salt wasn't enough, the saltiness wasn't enough, so I added the other half. So here goes the onions. I'm adding my onions and then I'll cook for 1 minute. As I was saying, to add more flavor to it, I'll be adding some Chinese rice wine. So this is about 1 tablespoon of that. It's optional, you can omit it if you don't want the wine. This should have been the last ingredient to be added, but because I want the alcohol to evaporate and I don't want to overcook my vegetables, I added it early. My bell peppers are going in now. I forgot to mention that I'll be using some corn flour. This is 1.5 tablespoons of corn flour. I diluted it with some cold water. If you don't have this, plain flour can equally do the job. So I'll add it gradually to the sauce until I get the thickness that I want. Don't add everything in at once because it could be too thick and it will become like banku, and you don't want that. This is the consistency that we are going for. It will become thicker after it gets to a boil. I'm going to cook it for a minute or two and then turn the heat off. So here you go. The sauce is already nice and delicious. Let's take a closer look at it. Look at that. We'll call it a day. Thank you all for watching, sharing, subscribing, liking and commenting. See you on my next video. Bye.